crazy as this might sound, what if the US isn't actually as divided as we think it is? And what if we could find that out and begin to heal our communities as well as our outlooks with the help of AI and the internet, the very tools that tore us apart in the first place?
In the case of a normal town hall, people who come are invariably like the detractors. They don't want the thing to happen. Maybe we're hearing from 8,000 of those guys. Maybe we were better off actually just having 8, and you don't want 8,000. What are we going to do with 8,000 very, very angry people who don't want things to happen? And there was a huge sigh of relief from local leaders when they saw that more than 80% of the proposals had near universal support. Everyone was stunned.
I'm Jennifer Strong, and this is Shift.
Now here on the steering column is a device called Auto Cruise. You simply set the speed you want.
Self-driving robo-taxis are already on the road in 2 U.S. cities.
As the disc rotates, a mirror reflects the light in the way that depends on how the signal was recorded.
This is the 100 terabyte I present to you Electro, the Moto Man. Ladies and gentlemen.
I would say that one of my greatest skills is my ability to interact with humans.
This episode, it's the latest installment of our oral history project. Miro helps teams accelerate through the full innovation cycle, getting from idea to outcome faster. Miro's innovation workspace is an intelligent platform that brings people and AI together in a shared space. It's more than just putting a bunch of ideas on a board. And you can quickly build on your ideas without needing the perfect prompt. The work you're already doing on Miro's canvas is the prompt. Help your teams get great done with Miro. Check out Miro.com to find out how. That's Miro.com.
From Zuckerman Spader. For 5 decades, Zuckerman Spader has been a leading litigation firm trusted by in-house and outside counsel, businesses, and individuals. With offices in Washington, Baltimore, New York, and Tampa, Zuckerman Spader serves clients throughout the country and around the world in high-stakes disputes, enforcement matters, investigations, and at trial. When the lawyer you choose matters most. Online at Zuckerman.com.
The internet was supposed to be this new frontier of large-scale conversations. We can talk and listen and understand in large groups. And that was the digital public square kind of promise. And we really didn't scratch the surface of it. If anything, may have undermined our ability to talk to each other at all. So the last year we've been seeing if we could help with civic voice, if we could help policymakers have conversations with their constituents. Hi, I'm Yasmin Green. I'm the CEO of a group called Jigsaw, which is an incubator inside of Google. Think of like the other parts of Google that take AI to new heights. And at Jigsaw, we're trying to bring it back down to earth again and make it valuable to people so that, in our everyday lives, we can feel that AI is solving really meaningful problems. The tagline we talk about is giving people voice and choice in the world around them. So we've been around for 15 years, and that's really been a through line to the work that we've been doing. So that's everything from trying to help people get on the internet. Every year, more and more of the world is actually restricted from accessing the internet. I mean, the World Wide Web was a kind of misnomer even at the beginning, but it definitely becomes less and less true for most people who are trying to access the internet. So we develop software to help people get around national blockages. We have tools to help journalists and independent media to keep their coverage online in the face of digital attacks. The work that we've been doing most recently has been around conversations. We developed AI that was to help the hosts of conversations, like platforms like Reddit or even like Wikipedia, who have talk pages, and then publishers like news websites across the political spectrum, to help them manage online posts. Because at the beginning, it seemed incredible that you could have readers post comments, but it soon became something that publishers were struggling to host and kind of keep civil and productive. So they were shutting down conversation spaces. And around that time, 2017, was when there was a significant breakthroughs in AI that allowed for machine learning models to understand context. So to kind of understand meaning, even though they hadn't seen that sentence or that comment before, they could really understand what it meant and what it was saying. And so we developed tools that kind of became the most popular free tool anywhere in the world for hosts of comment spaces to help them identify what they want to keep and remove or push up or push down. And that's called Perspective API. So it's used billions of times a day, 1,000+ publishers. But more recently, we've been wondering if we could help create conversations from scratch that actually deliver for people. So we had this tool that was so popular, which sounds like a real win if you're a technology incubator. But then when you stand back and you take stock of how conversations are going online, you can't really feel like you're winning that much. So the last year we've been seeing if we could help with civic voice, if we could help policymakers have conversations with their constituents, recognized an opportunity to help the mayor in this county in Kentucky. Is called the Judge Executive. But the Judge Executive, Doug Gorman, wanted to hear from his residents, his constituency, to shape the strategy for their future. And the reason it was a significant question was that this Bowling Green community is doubling in size over the next 2 decades, which sounds actually just good and something to be grateful for. But in fact, there was a mixed bag of emotions about it, because you have to have an infrastructure to grow. You have to be ready to absorb people. They were actually kind of concerned about migration. For Bowling Green, Kentucky, the migrants that they were concerned about were from Nashville, Tennessee. So not like what you normally think of as, migration concerns, but actually a lot of really valid things were, about wanting to keep their culture and their values and not lose themselves. And it seemed like an incredible opportunity for us to help this policymaker ask for direction from the public. He said this change can either happen to us or it can happen for us. If we want it to happen for us, we have to come together and set a vision. But how do you hear from, tens of thousands of people? So we said, okay, maybe we can help. We have so much expertise with technology. Maybe we can be of assistance. We said, how do you hear from the public today? He said, we have town halls. We said, how many people would come to a town hall? And he said, maybe 8. We're like, we must be able to improve on that. Let's design this, a mechanism for people to just give their opinion on the future of Bowling Green in their own words, on their own timeline, from their bedroom or their workplace. Invite everybody to have a voice. We did this big marketing campaign, and then once we launched the virtual town hall, we realized that there really was a chance that people don't want to. It's not because there are barriers to participation, they just don't want to be part of that conversation. So we were holding our breath to see how many people would participate, and it turned out that 8,000 people participated. So we 1,000x'd the normal participation rate. In the case of a normal town hall, the 8 people who come are invariably like the detractors. They don't want the thing to happen. Maybe we're hearing from 8,000 of those guys. Maybe we're better off actually just having 8. And you don't want 8,000. What are we going to do with 8,000 very, very angry people who don't want things to happen? And so we analyzed there were 4,000 policy proposals, 1 million votes. And there was a huge sigh of relief from local leaders when they saw that more than 80% of the proposals had near universal support. Everyone was stunned, and the Judge Executive was asked, they did a PBS segment on the Bowling Green Town Hall and their experience. And he was asked, why do you think there was so much agreement? And he said, because the ideas weren't labeled with your identity or political affiliation. It was just people had to evaluate ideas on their own merit. It was kind of like, I think that bucks conventional wisdom today, where it's all about you have to have identity and accountability for your identity. And this was anonymous. It was geo-restricted, but it was anonymous. The takeaway for us was people want to be part of conversations. There's a lot that they agree on if you can design a conversation well. Because the town hall and the digital public square were not surfacing agreement across so many different topics. So it was an incredible experience, the largest town hall in US history.
Ready to turn your good ideas into great results? Miro's Innovation Workspace is a faster way to get there. It helps teams accelerate through the full innovation cycle, getting from idea to outcome faster. Miro's innovation workspace is an intelligent platform that brings people and AI together in a shared space. These days, I'm hosting 2 shows and curating the storytelling for several live events. My team can use Miro for road mapping. That is, outlining a product plan over time in a visual way, with key features, milestones, and release schedules. We can also use it to work on new concepts. Miro has been empowering teams to transform bold ideas into the next big thing for more than a decade. Now, they're at the forefront of bringing products to market even faster by unleashing the combined power of AI and human potential. Here's how. Teams can work with Miro to turn unstructured data, like sticky notes or screenshots, into usable diagrams, product briefs, and data tables in just minutes. It's more than putting a bunch of ideas on a board. And if you're like me and worn out by having to master ever more tools in your software toolbox, this is much easier than that. Because you can quickly build on your ideas without needing the perfect question. The work you're already doing on Miro's canvas is the prompt. Help your teams get great done with Miro. Check out Miro.com to find out how. That's MIRO.com.
This show is supported by Blue Land. You've probably heard that most of us are eating a credit card's worth of plastics every week, but you probably don't know that you're cleaning with microplastics every day. It's time to make the switch to Blue Land. Blue Land is on a mission to make it easy for everyone to make sustainable choices. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaner to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blue Land's formulas are 100% microplastic-free, made with certified clean ingredients, and free from chlorine, bleach, and harsh chemicals. All Blue Land cleaning products are safe to use around your family, your pets, your plants. Plus, Blue Land was named an EPA Safer Choice Partner of the Year, so they're good for the planet as well. Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes by people who love not having to choose between the safe option and what actually gets their home clean. Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/PRX. Make the switch to Blue Land now by going to blueland.com/PRX for 15% off. That's blueland.com/PRX to get 15% off.
So after our success in Bowling Green, Kentucky, with this largest town hall in U.S. history, we embarked on a new project with a partner called the Napolitan Institute. So the Napolitan Institute is interested in elevating the American voice. The founder is actually a well-known pollster, someone who's done a lot of polling, Scott Rasmussen. And he came to Bowling Green and visited and could see the implications of technology and AI. Polling's having a little bit of a bad time. I think, he has this joke where he says polling is like the crack cocaine of Washington, D.C. Like, people know it's not really very good, but then they really want it when it's around. So he was really interested in, can we understand public opinion in ways that are more accurate? And we were really interested in, can we do a conversation? Can we convene a microcosm of America and design a conversation that works for them? Because we haven't yet had the internet do that for us. So we co-designed something called We the People. We the People, we've just launched it, so it's really exciting. We're midway through the first conversation. But the idea of We the People is get together a microcosm of America that's representative, not just demographically, but across the political spectrum and across all congressional districts. All 435 congressional districts have 5 to 10 people, which to my knowledge hasn't been done before. And to convene this is an unprecedented conversation. And the goal is to talk about, the first topic is freedom and equality. But can you get people to share their views, to hear each other, and to respond, and to actually find areas where they agree? Which is a really, really tall order and is not happening in any other space. Like, if if you're having a meeting or hosting a dinner party, or you think, well, 5 to 6 people is good, 10 to 12 people is hard, 18 to 20 people are really lucky if I can get anywhere. And then you forget having a group that's larger than that. So now you have 2,500 people. How would you design a conversation that is where the goal is for people to talk and to respond to each other and find areas of agreement? The metaphor I like is that of Google Maps. So if you're building Google Maps from scratch, you would have to get all the data on addresses, like, where do people live? What's their address and how do those, where did the police station, the school, the apartment block? And then you would need to figure out how it all fits together. And then you need to have some kind of quality check for this actually is true, this representation of geographical terrain. So we went through these steps, but instead of geographical terrain, we did that for opinion terrain. If you wanted to create like a Google map of opinions of Americans, first you have to go and get all the opinion data. So we had 3 rounds. The first round was get all the opinion data. You let people talk, and they're actually having a little bit of back and forth with an AI to like get to the nuance of their opinion. So you're getting the raw data. And then the second round is organizes it all. So in the case of America, you'd be like, there are 50 states, and within New York State, there are these geographies. Within New York City, there are these boroughs. Then we organize all the opinion data, and we let people respond to one another's opinions. And then the final stage is showing it back to them and asking if they agree with this representation. It's a super, there's AI at every point, but the AI is in service of helping people talk, helping people listen to one another and be heard, and then at the end, finding agreement. There are 3 metrics that are really powerful from this small pilot that we did, which is just 10% of the actual full conversation that's launched. The first was people who participated were asked at the beginning, do you feel heard by other Americans? And 40% of them said, yes, I feel that my opinions are understood. After the conversation, which actually happens, there are 3 rounds, but it happens over the course of a few weeks. After the conversation, that number rose to 70% of people said they felt heard by their neighbor. Then we asked, did you feel that there was common ground with your neighbor? Because I think there's lots of academic research that suggests that there is common ground, but I don't know anyone who's living their life like looking online or looking at the news or walking and is like, yeah, these are just people that I have common ground with across the whole nation. So 75% of people said that they felt that there was more that unites us than divides us in America. And the final one is it's almost like a technocratic one, but is the most important to me. We asked people if they felt represented by the conversation. And that's like really a North Star for us. If you can't design a conversation that people feel was true and faithful to their own contributions, then you haven't solved the problem. And on this one, there was 91% of people said that they felt represented by the conversation, which gives me a lot of hope for how we can get public opinion, how we can do market intelligence research, but honestly, how we can have conversations that advance our understanding of each other and let us find areas we agree and also let us disagree while still respecting and understanding each other. I work in a company where the default unit is billions or trillions. But still, when you come and you're like, here's this research we did with this human being who described the impact on their life, even like the most jaded executive just softens. I'm really happy that we've got these statistics and metrics from the pilot, and I feel really encouraged. But I'm excited to come back in a few weeks with the actual stories of what people shared and the fact what we're seeing is that people arrive at opinions with really different life experiences. I think sometimes we look at life experiences being different and we assume that therefore we don't share the same values or the same views. And I think this is going to upend that assumption.
This episode was produced by me and Emma Cillekens and mixed by Garret Lang, with original music from him and Jacob Gorski. Thanks for listening. I'm Jennifer Strong.
This show is supported by Odoo. When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.